A 12-year-old human girl faces unimaginable horrors, watched by an ancient, all-powerful dragon, as alien monsters known as the Kherathi tear through reality itself. In just 36 minutes, everything changes. One species stands on the brink of annihilation, yet humans, small and fragile by design, defy the impossible. Witness courage that transcends fear, intelligence that bends reality, and unity that challenges the laws of the universe. Can humans survive against cosmic predators older than stars and emerge stronger than ever? Watch now to see humanity rise in a way the universe has never imagined. The void of space stretched endlessly, black and merciless, broken only by distant, dying stars. On the barren surface of Xylar Prime, jagged mountains pierce the crimson sky, casting shadows that writhe like living creatures. The dragon, an ancient and enormous alien predator with scales that shimmer like liquid metal, crouched atop a cliff, wings folded, eyes burning with iridescent fire. It had witnessed horrors before, battles between civilizations, the collapse of worlds, the merciless cruelty of the universe. Yet nothing had prepared it for what it saw that day. A 12-year-old human girl, small and fragile by any measure, faced the wrath of the Gordhak, a species infamous for sadistic rituals and psychic torment. Her eyes, wide and unflinching, shone with a defiance that stunned even the dragon. The screams echoed across the canyon, bouncing off the jagged cliffs, yet she did not cry out in terror. Pain tore through her body, bone and sinew screamed under alien devices, yet her spirit remained unbroken. The dragon felt a curious stir in its ancient mind, a mixture of fascination, confusion, and awe. Humans, small, weak, fragile, yet their courage burned brighter than the suns it consumed in its lifetime. 36 minutes passed in a blur of pain and fire. The girl's body faltered. The last scream tore itself from her throat, and silence fell like a shroud over the jagged mountains. The dragon's heart, if it could be called that, ached in a strange, unfamiliar way. Then the unexpected happened. A shimmer of light erupted from the girl's chest. Small at first, fragile like a whisper of wind. The Gordhak recoiled, their eyes wide with horror. The light intensified, growing, stretching, warping the very air around it. The dragon's wings unfurled instinctively, body tensing for the unknown. In that moment, the human girl rose, not as the fragile body that had been tortured, but transformed. Her eyes glowed with a brilliant azure flame. Her skin radiated a soft, pulsating light that made the jagged cliff shimmer as if reality itself bent around her. The Gordhak shrieked, their psychic screams clashing with the brilliance of her emergence. The dragon could feel the raw power emanating from her, a force it had not sensed in eons. She moved with grace and speed that defied physics, her small frame twisting, evading attacks that would have obliterated any other being. The humans had endured, adapted, and overcome the impossible again. The Gordhak, monsters of the galaxy, fell to their knees, trembling in fear and awe. And then the dragon understood. The universe had underestimated humanity. Fragile? Yes. Weak? Sometimes. But resilient, intelligent, cunning, and capable of the unimaginable. The girl extended her hand, and a wave of energy surged outward. It tore through the Gordhak's weapons, shattered their armor, and left them trembling on the ground. The dragon, watching from above, felt a strange warmth in its chest, an unfamiliar respect. Humans, they did not merely survive. They transcended. And this girl, this small, remarkable human, had just proven that. The light surrounding her dimmed, but her aura of strength remained, a beacon in the blood-red sky of Xylar Prime. The dragon descended slowly, talons clicking against a rock, wings spreading wide as it spoke in a deep, resonant voice. You are more than they ever believed, more than even I could comprehend. The girl turned, gazed steady, unafraid. Then you will see, she said, her voice calm, unwavering, how far we can go. The dragon inclined its massive head, knowing this encounter was only the beginning. For in the heart of the universe, among ancient powers and impossible challenges, humanity would not just survive. It would rise. It would conquer. It would change the cosmos forever. And the dragon would bear witness. The girl's azure eyes scanned the horizon, her small frame radiating a power that made the jagged cliffs of Xylar Prime tremble. The dragon, massive and imposing, landed beside her, talons sinking slightly into the crimson soil, its wings folded with a whisper that sounded like thunder across the canyons. "Your kind does not yield easily," it rumbled, voice vibrating through the rocks. The girl nodded, calm but resolute. "Humans adapt. We endure. And we fight back when the universe thinks we cannot," she said. From the shadowed ridges, the surviving Gorthak crawled, their grotesque limbs shaking, eyes wide with terror and disbelief. "They underestimated her," the dragon muttered, a hint of awe lacing its words. The girl stepped forward, small but unflinching, and the Gorthak cowered under her gaze. "You will leave this world," she said, voice steady, echoing across the jagged peaks. The Gorthak chattered in their guttural tongue, confusion and fear twisting their faces. Energy pulsed from her chest, a visible aura of shimmering blue light that twisted the air like heat waves from a dying sun. The Gorthak scrambled backward, panicked, their weapons useless against a human's force. The dragon's massive claws struck the ground, sending tremors through the rocks. "It is not only her strength, it is her spirit, her species' courage," the dragon murmured. And in that moment, a new force entered the sky above Xylar Prime. A fleet of starships, angular and bristling with weapons, tore through the crimson atmosphere, their engines burning clouds of toxic gas into brilliant streaks of light. The girl's eyes narrowed. "More are coming," she whispered, not fear, but anticipation in her tone. The dragon's wings stretched, casting shadows that felt like giants over the ground. "Do you intend to fight them?" it asked, low and measured. "Yes," she said. Her voice carried the certainty of humanity's unyielding nature. The ships descended, weapons primed, beams of searing light slicing through the crimson haze. The girl raised her hands, and a shield of pulsating energy erupted around her, shimmering and twisting like liquid sapphire. Bullets, energy blasts, and molten shards struck the shield, but none penetrated. She tilted her head, listening, sensing patterns in the incoming assault. Then, almost imperceptibly, she smiled. With a thought, the shield expanded outward, a wave of raw kinetic energy that rippled across the battlefield. Ships erupted like fireworks, their hulls twisted and shattered, debris raining down on the jagged cliffs. The dragon roared, its massive jaws snapping, scattering any remaining Gorthak that dared approach. Yet, as the smoke cleared, another threat emerged. A massive black void opened in the sky, a tear in reality itself, spilling shadow and fire across the heavens. From it, creatures emerged, beings that defied shape, their forms writhing and folding as if the universe had forgotten how to contain them. The girl's aura flared brighter, her blue light cutting through the darkness. "They are coming for everything we built," she said softly. The dragon stepped closer, senses sharp, eyes reflecting the writhing horrors above. "Then we show them," it said, voice low and resonant, "why humans do not yield." The creatures descended, a flood of impossible forms, tendrils whipping through the air, eyes opening in shapes that should not exist. Yet the girl did not falter. She leaped, small figures streaking across the crimson soil, moving faster than the eye could follow. Her hands struck the ground, and massive eruptions of energy tore through the landscape, fissures opening, rocks levitating and spinning like deadly projectiles. The dragon leapt beside her, talons extended, jaws snapping, wings creating gusts that hurled the alien creatures backward. Human ingenuity combined with instinctive power formed a symphony of destruction that seemed impossible. And yet, she did not fight alone. A surge of humans arrived, hidden deep in the shadows, riding hoverbikes and alien-adapted exosuits. Each one, ordinary by human standards, now extraordinary in this deadly alien world. They moved as a unit, strategy and improvisation combining seamlessly, fighting in ways the universe had not anticipated. The Gorthak, watching, trembled. "They are not merely survivors," one hissed, voice shaking with disbelief. "They are predators in their own right." The girl's eyes met the dragon's briefly. "Do you see?" she asked, voice calm, commanding, unyielding. The dragon bowed its massive head. "Yes," it said, "I see the strength of your species, the brilliance of your mind. the fire in your heart. You are different. She smiled faintly, blue light flickering across her face. Then the sky ripped further, and the creatures came closer, twisting reality around them. The humans faltered briefly, the air thick with pressure. But she did not. Focus, she said. We adapt. We conquer. That is who we are. Her hands moved in a pattern, weaving energy through the air, forming barriers, weapons, and shields simultaneously. The creatures crashed against her aura, their forms disintegrating under the force of human ingenuity and indomitable will. And then the unthinkable happened. From the shadows of the torn sky, an ancient being descended, a godlike figure that radiated both intelligence and hunger. Its form was immense, wings stretching across the horizon, eyes glowing like dying stars. It spoke not in sound, but in thought, reaching into minds, bending will. You dare challenge a void? It asked, voice shaking reality itself. The humans hesitated, but the girl stepped forward, small but unwavering. We are human, she said, voice ringing across the landscape. We endure, we fight, we overcome, and we will never bow. Her light intensified, forming a spear of pure energy that pierced the void being's aura. The creatures shrieked, a sound that warped the minds of the weak, but humans did not falter. The dragon roared, striking with talons and fire, amplifying her attack, creating a synergy that the universe had never witnessed. The humans charged, every attack precise, every movement calculated, blending courage, intelligence, and raw power. Even the 12-year-old girl, small in form but colossal in will, became a beacon of resistance, leading the charge against impossible odds. Time seemed to bend, minutes stretching into hours, but humans adapted. They learned the patterns, predicted the attacks, and pushed forward, relentless and unyielding. And then the unimaginable occurred. The void being, massive and eternal, faltered. It recoiled from the force of human determination, from their unity, from their brilliance. The girl raised her hand one last time, and the energy of countless humans focused through her, creating a surge so powerful it shattered the creatures, formed into fragments of light and shadow. Silence fell over Xylar Prime, the air heavy but calm. The humans stood victorious, battered but unbroken, their strength, intelligence, and uniqueness proven beyond any doubt. The dragon lowered its massive head, eyes reflecting a strange emotion. Your species is remarkable, it said. The girl turned, small against the crimson mountains, yet radiant with unstoppable power. We are human, she said, voice steady. We survive. We conquer. We rise. The dragon folded its wings, its mind expanded by the truth it had witnessed. And somewhere in the stars, distant civilizations took notice. The silence over Xylar Prime was deafening. Crimson dust swirled across jagged cliffs, stirred by the dragon's massive wings, the remnant of alien forces smoldering in the valleys below. The humans, still trembling with adrenaline, gathered around the 12-year-old girl, their small leader who had shattered impossible odds. Her aura, still glowing faintly, cast blue light across the alien terrain, painting every jagged rock, every crater, in hues of sapphire and silver. The dragon lowered its massive head closer to her, eyes reflecting stars long dead. You are no ordinary human, it said, voice resonating like the echo of a supernova. I know, she replied, calm, measured. We are designed to endure, to survive, to outthink and to overcome. She looked over her shoulder at the surviving humans, their faces pale but resolute. Listen to me, she said. This victory is temporary. Something far older and far more dangerous awakens. Something the universe feared, and rightly so. The dragon's talons dug into crimson rock, the weight of its body sending tremors across the plateau. What is it? It asked, a note of curiosity threading its voice. The girl closed her eyes. She did not need vision to sense the ripples in space. They are called the Kherathi, she said softly, almost whispering. An ancient race older than stars, older than light. They were sealed away because no species could resist them. Not even us, not until now. The humans murmured among themselves. Fear brushed their voices, but courage undercut it. The dragon tilted its massive head. And you sense them? It asked. Yes, she said, and they know we exist now. The sky above twisted, shadows crawling across stars, and then the void split open again, this time not with creatures, but with something far grander. A colossal shape, incomprehensible in scale, emerged from the rupture. Its body, if it could be called a body, shimmered like a liquid nebula, and yet, within that shimmer, millions of faces appeared, screaming silently, their forms stretching and folding in ways a mind could not process. The humans froze. The dragon growled low in its throat, an instinctive warning that reverberated through the rocks. "Do you see now?" the girl asked, voice unwavering. "Yes," the dragon said, almost reverent. "And yet you will face it alone?" The girl shook her head. "No," she said. "We are never alone. Our species, our allies, our ingenuity, everything we have learned, everything we have endured, will stand with us." The Kherathi's presence intensified. Reality warped around it. Mountains seemed to bend, rivers of molten rock reversed their flow, and the air itself vibrated with cosmic tension. The humans felt a pull in their minds, a psychic pressure that made heads spin and hearts hammer. But none fled. They had faced death, alien monsters, impossible physics, and they had survived. This was only another test. The girl raised her hand again, and this time she did not fight with raw energy alone. She called upon knowledge embedded in the human genome, the latent potential, the intellect honed to millennia of survival and adaptation. Her mind reached into the fabric of reality itself. The dragon watched, astonished. Energy spiraled from her, weaving through cracks of space and time, threading itself into the very essence of Xylar Prime. The humans followed her lead, their thoughts and actions synced in perfect harmony. One human, a scientist named Aaron, manipulated a device designed to bend gravity, turning the jagged cliffs into a labyrinthine defense. Another, a soldier named Kale, focused his suit's weapon systems into patterns of harmonic resonance, creating sound waves that disrupted the Kherathi's energy fields. And the girl? She directed it all, a conductor of impossible power. The Kherathi's form pulsed violently, faces screaming, shifting, struggling to comprehend the unity and ingenuity of the humans. "This species," the dragon muttered, awe in its tone. "They defy probability itself." Then, in a flash of revelation, the girl understood something. The Kherathi were not merely destructive. They were predators of thought, entities that consumed civilizations by exploiting weakness, fear, and chaos. And humans, in their fragility, had none of that weakness. They feared death, yes, but they never surrendered. They adapted, they outthought, they endured. The dragon's massive wings stretched, and it roared, amplifying her power, striking in tandem, a perfect fusion of ancient might and human ingenuity. The Kherathi writhed, and then something unexpected happened. A human consciousness, faint, ancient, yet familiar, reached through the fold of space and time, responding to her call. It was a signal, not of attack, but of acknowledgement. The girl's eyes widened. "They recognize us," she whispered. "They understand that humanity is not prey. We are a force of nature itself." Energy erupted from her, like a star being born, spiraling upward into the Kherathi. The alien entity recoiled, faces twisting into expressions the humans could almost comprehend, shock, disbelief, and fear. The dragon circled above, massive shadow blotting out the warped sky, talons extended, jaws snapping in perfect coordination with the humans below. The Kherathi faltered, its form cracking under the combined force of human will, ingenuity, and courage. Then the impossible happened. From the shards of its energy, a smaller, more comprehensible form emerged. It resembled nothing the universe had catalogued, yet it held intelligence, awareness, and curiosity. The girl stepped forward, not with weapons or energy, but with understanding. "You cannot consume what refuses to bow," she said softly, voice ringing through the warped atmosphere. The smaller Kherathi paused, observing her. Its form shimmered, and then it spoke not in sound, but in thought. "You are different," it said. "Yes," the girl replied. "We are human. We endure. We rise. We adapt. And we will never surrender to fear or death." The entity pulsed, and then, miraculously, it retreated, folding into a shard of energy that disappeared into the ruptured void. The humans exhaled, disbelief and relief washing over them. The dragon landed beside the girl, wings folding slowly. "You have done what no other species could," it said. "No," she replied. "We have done what humans always do. We survive. We adapt. We conquer. And the universe will learn that lesson." The humans cheered, their voices echoing across the jagged peaks, blending with the dragon's low, triumphant roar. And yet, even in victory, the girl's eyes scanned the skies. She knew this was only the beginning. The Kherathi were ancient, patient, and infinitely powerful. They would return, and when they did, humanity would be ready, not with brute force alone, but with intellect, courage, and an unyielding spirit. For the first time in recorded history, a single species had proven that survival was not enough. Humans would rise, not merely to endure, but to redefine the balance of power in a universe that had never expected them to triumph. The dragon inclined its massive head, a gesture of respect, perhaps even reverence. "Then we continue," it said. "Together." The girl nodded. "Yes, together. And the universe will remember that humans are not prey. They are a storm." Above the jagged cliffs of Xylar Prime, the stars themselves seemed to shimmer in acknowledgement, distant suns twinkling as if in applause. The humans, small and fragile by any measure, stood tall. And in the silence that followed, the girl whispered, almost to herself, "This is only the beginning." The dragon lowered its wings, and together they turned to face the horizon, knowing the challenges ahead would test every limit of courage, intelligence, and ingenuity. The horizon of Xylar Prime burned red, fading slowly into violet as the twin suns dipped below jagged cliffs. The humans, battered and exhausted, regrouped around the 12-year-old girl, their beacon of impossible courage. She stood tall, small in form but monumental in will, eyes still glowing faintly with the power that had shattered the Kherathi's assault. The dragon landed beside her, massive shadows swallowing the humans in darkness that was softened only by the girl's aura. "Do you feel it?" she asked, her voice calm, almost serene, yet laced with unshakable authority. The dragon's eyes, ancient and infinitely wise, reflected constellations unknown to any human chart. "Yes," it rumbled. "The universe watches, and it shifts, even now." The girl's gaze lifted to the sky. The rupture for which the Kherathi had emerged pulsed faintly, a wound in reality that whispered power, patience, and intent. "They will return," she said softly, more to herself than anyone else. "And they will come stronger, more focused, hungrier than before." The humans stirred, feeling the weight of what lay ahead. Fear brushed their minds, but courage burned brighter. One human, a biologist named Lyra, stepped forward. "We have learned from them. We have seen their weakness. Perhaps we can use it." The girl nodded. "We will. Humans do not fight blindly. We strategize. We adapt. We endure." From the horizon, a shimmer appeared. Not light, but something heavier, more deliberate. A spacecraft, massive and alien, unlike any the humans had ever catalogued, descended with surgical precision. Its hull was obsidian, etched with glowing symbols that pulsed in sync with the rupture in the sky. The humans readied themselves. Weapons were checked. Energy shield hummed. Even the dragon tensed, sensing that the new arrival carried not destruction alone, but intent. The ship landed silently, dust and crimson soil swirling around it, and a hatch opened. A figure emerged. Tall, humanoid, yet every movement precise, almost mechanical. Armor shimmered in deep violet, reflecting the dying sunlight in fractal patterns. The humans instinctively tensed. The girl stepped forward. "Identify yourself," she demanded. The figure paused, its helmet retracting to reveal a face both alien and hauntingly familiar. "You are the humans who survived the Kherathi," it said, voice smooth, deliberate, resonating like music and metal simultaneously. "Yes," the girl said, her hands subtly glowing. "And you are—" "I am Elith," the figure replied, eyes glowing with soft violet fire. "I am a guardian, a watcher of civilizations, tasked with balance and intervention when species reach thresholds unforeseen by the cosmos." The humans exchanged nervous glances. Guardians were spoken of in whispers across the galaxy, beings of immense power, capable of annihilating worlds, guiding civilizations, or erasing them entirely. The dragon growled low in its throat. And you stand here observing us? Elitha's eyes shifted to the massive creature, calm and unreadable. Not merely observing, evaluating, testing. Humans are unexpected. Their resilience, intelligence, and ingenuity have altered the scales of cosmic probability. The girl's eyes narrowed. Then why are you here? To help or to judge? Elitha's lips curled into the faintest semblance of a smile. Perhaps both. The Kherathi's awakening is inevitable. Their hunger spans galaxies. Yet, humans have qualities unseen elsewhere. I have come to determine if you are capable of shaping your destiny, or if your spark will be snuffed before it burns bright enough to challenge them. The dragon tilted its massive head, claws digging into the jagged soil. And if we are capable? Elitha's gaze flickered to the sky, where the rupture pulsed like a heartbeat. Then you will not fight alone. I offer guidance, knowledge, tools beyond your current comprehension. But only if you are willing to embrace the scale of the universe and the burden of being more than prey. The girl's pulse quickened, but her voice remained steady. Humans are never content to be prey. We endure, we adapt, we overcome, and we will rise, with or without your guidance. Elith considered her words, silent, almost reverent. Then, slowly, they nodded. Very well, Elith said. The time has come for humans to prove themselves not just against monsters, but against the logic of the cosmos itself. From within the ship, Elith retrieved a small device. It hovered between them, glowing faintly. This, Elith said, is a key. It allows access to the nexus of possibility, a place outside time, outside space, where potential futures are tested against reality itself. Only those capable of understanding and mastering their own limitations can succeed. The girl stepped closer, gaze fixed on the device. And if we fail? Elitha's voice dropped, almost a whisper that resonated in every mind present. Failure is extinction, not of your species, but of the opportunity to define your destiny. The humans swallowed, but none faltered. Their species had faced death countless times and survived. They had endured the unimaginable. And yet, this challenge promised stakes far beyond anything they had faced. The dragon spread its wings. And you will allow them to enter this nexus? Elitha's eyes glowed. Yes, they have proven capable of the impossible. Now, they must prove themselves capable of the unimaginable. The girl inhaled deeply, feeling the surge of power from her transformation still lingering in her chest. Then we go, she said, for humanity, for our future, and for the universe to witness what we are capable of. The humans gathered around her, forming a semicircle, hands glowing faintly with energy manipulated instinctively, as if the nexus itself called to their latent potential. The rupture in the sky expanded, the Kherathi's presence rippling through the cosmos, aware of the humans' preparation. Yet the girl did not flinch. We are human, she said softly, voice carrying across the barren plateau. And we will rise. Elith activated the key. A portal of shifting light opened, fractal patterns stretching infinitely. The humans hesitated, the air heavy with anticipation. Yet the pull of possibility was undeniable. The dragon lowered its massive head, almost reverent, offering its presence as a shield against unknown dangers. The girl stepped forward first, followed by the humans, their confidence growing with each step. As they crossed the threshold, reality warped. Time fractured, space twisted, and the very laws of physics seemed to bend around them. Yet in this impossible place, humans thrived. Their ingenuity, courage, and relentless adaptability allowed them to navigate a realm where thought became action and belief became reality. The Kherathi, sensing this incursion, stirred with unease. Ancient, hungry, and incomprehensible, they had never faced species capable of bending such impossible realms to their will. The human's presence alone challenged centuries of cosmic certainty. The girl moved at the center of the nexus, guiding her people through impossible corridors of reality, her aura cutting through the chaos like a beacon of unwavering light. She knew that each challenge in this realm would test not only their strength, but their intellect, their creativity, and their humanity itself. And yet, Even as walls of pure energy twisted around them, forms of thought attempted to overwhelm them, and illusions of despair assailed their senses, the humans pressed forward. They fought not with brute force alone, but with intelligence, strategy, and the indomitable that had defined their species since time immemorial. The dragon followed, massive wings folded in careful precision, providing both protection and perspective. Elith watched silently, sensing the unprecedented. Humans navigating the impossible with instinct, courage, and brilliance. This species, Elith muttered, almost to themselves, will change the universe. And as they moved deeper into the nexus, the girl felt a shiver along her spine. Not of fear, but of anticipation. The Kherathi were aware. The universe was watching, and humanity, small and fragile by any measure, was about to redefine what it meant to survive, to conquer, and to endure. The girl's pulse synced with the rhythm of the nexus itself, energy swirling around her, infusing her with knowledge, intuition, and an awareness that stretched beyond her years. "Prepare," she whispered to her people. "The real test begins now." And with that, the nexus shifted, revealing the first trial, a realm of pure, chaotic energy, where thought and matter collided, and where only those capable of mastering both could survive. The humans stepped forward, ready to face the impossible once more. And somewhere in the void, the Kherathi recoiled, sensing that humanity had become something entirely new. The nexus of possibilities stretched endlessly, an infinite void that shimmered with every hue of existence. Time was no longer linear. Space had no fixed rules. Gravity, light, sound, even thought itself bent and twisted around them, a swirling chaos that would have broken any ordinary being. Yet humans moved forward, small figures of determination and resilience, led by the 12-year-old girl whose aura of sapphire light cut through the swirling madness like a blade. "Stay together," she whispered. "We are humans. We endure. We adapt. We overcome." The dragon's massive wings created gusts of stability, anchoring the humans to the fragmented shards of the nexus that served as their path. Around them, the environment shifted constantly. A bridge of crystal appeared beneath their feet, only to dissolve into nothingness moments later. Floating islands of molten rock rotated slowly, their surfaces slick with rivers of liquid light. Spectral forms drifted past, whispering incoherent thoughts into the minds of those who dared to listen, testing their sanity, their fears, and their courage. The first trial revealed itself suddenly. A massive void of darkness stretched before them, punctuated by floating shards of fractured reality. At its center, a shape formed, a Kherathi sentinel, immense and nightmarish, composed entirely of shifting thought and energy. Its form was impossible to comprehend, limbs folding in non-Euclidean angles, eyes within eyes, pulsating with malice. "You sense it?" the dragon rumbled, wings folding slightly, talons bracing for strike. "Yes," the girl replied, calm but focused. "It is testing our resolve, our intellect, and our will. We cannot fight it with brute force alone." Humans clustered, hands glowing faintly as their minds instinctively began coordinating, weaving strategy and creativity in real time. Aaron, the biologist, raised a device that emitted controlled gravitational pulses, stabilizing the floating fragments of the nexus long enough to create a pathway. Kale, the soldier, projected harmonic energy, disrupting the Sentinel's field, causing its shifting form to momentarily freeze. Lyra, the strategist, calculated patterns in the Sentinel's energy pulses, directing the human's movements with perfect timing. And the girl? She moved at the center, orchestrating every action, a conductor of human ingenuity and instinct, her small frame glowing with absolute focus. The Sentinel lunged, and the laws of reality warped around it. A limb extended into multiple dimensions, attempting to crush the humans across planes of existence they could not even perceive. Yet they adapted. The girl extended her hands, weaving her aura into a lattice of energy that synchronized with the human devices. The lattice expanded, connecting every human with threads of pure potential, amplifying reflexes, perception, and thought. The Sentinel recoiled, its impossible geometry distorting under the unity of human coordination. The dragon roared, wings beating against the chaotic flux, scattering shards of energy that threatened to slice through the group. Minutes passed, or perhaps hours, For time here was unreliable, but the humans moved with precision no algorithm, no alien intelligence could match. Every strike, every dodge, every counter was instinctive, yet hyper-intelligent, a fusion of mind and body honed by centuries of survival and adaptation. The Sentinel's form began to collapse, folding in on itself like a dying star, yet it pulsed with one last surge of energy. The girl stepped forward, aura blazing brighter than before, and extended her hand. The pulse struck the Sentinel, and instead of destroying it, the energy merged with it, transforming its chaos into order. The Sentinel blinked, or perhaps it simulated the human concept of blinking. "You are different," it intoned, voice resonating in the minds of every human present. "Yes," the girl replied. "We are human. We survive. We adapt. We conquer. And we will never bow to fear." The Sentinel dissipated, leaving behind fragments of energy that coalesced into a shard of pure light. "This was only the first trial," the girl whispered. "The Nexus is designed to test every limit, physical, mental, and spiritual. We must continue." The humans nodded, resolute, their confidence rising with each victory. The dragon's eyes, ancient and reflective, followed them. "You are remarkable," it rumbled. "Never have I witnessed species so small, so seemingly fragile, mastering forces that would obliterate even the strongest of my kind." The girl smiled faintly, but her focus did not waver. "We are humans," she said softly. "Fragile by design, yes, but resilient, intelligent, and unyielding by nature. That is our greatest weapon." The next chamber of the Nexus unfolded with sudden intensity. Reality twisted further, forming impossible landscapes. Oceans of liquid fire, skies raining solid light, mountains that looped back upon themselves in fractal spirals. At the center of it all, a second Kherathi entity appeared. Unlike the first, this one was not purely chaotic. It radiated intelligence, cunning, and ancient malice. It spoke directly into their minds, a wave of thought that sought to unweave their confidence, to manipulate their fears. "You are insignificant," it hissed. "Your courage is meaningless. Your unity is fragile. All life bends to the inevitable, and you will break." The humans faltered briefly, but the girl stepped forward, aura blazing. "No," she said, voice cutting through the mental assault. "We are humans. We do not bend. We do not break. We adapt. We endure. We rise." Her words resonated like a bell, striking a chord in every human present. The dragon spread its wings wide, massive shadow and heat stabilizing the space around them. The humans responded with instinctive brilliance. Kale synchronized his suit with the girl's aura, creating a lattice of energy that acted as a buffer against psychic intrusion. Era manipulated the fluidity of the Nexus itself, bending fragments of fire and light into barriers and weapons. Lyra calculated counter patterns against the entity's attacks, directing each human movement with precision that seemed impossible in the shifting, chaotic space. The girl extended her hands, channeling pure potential into a spear of light that pierced the Kherathi entity's form. It shrieked, a sound that twisted the fabric of reality, and then something shocking happened. The entity did not dissipate. Instead, it paused, and it spoke again in thought alone, reverent and almost fearful. "You are not like any species I've encountered. Your potential is beyond comprehension." The girl lowered her hand slightly, but her light remained steady and commanding. "We are human," she said, "small, fragile, yet unbreakable. And we will continue until we have proven that humanity belongs among the stars, not as prey, but as a force to be reckoned with." The entity recoiled, folding into a fragment of energy that retreated into the chaotic void of the Nexus. The humans exhaled collectively, relief mixing with awe. The dragon lowered its massive head, eyes glinting with pride. "You have passed the second trial," it rumbled. "But the Nexus has many layers, each more impossible than the last." The girl nodded, pulse steady. "We are human," she said softly, "and we will rise to meet every impossible challenge the universe throws at us. Because that is what humans do." Elitha's voice echoed in their minds, calm yet filled with weight. "You have proven something extraordinary," it said. "But the true tests of humanity's potential are still ahead." The Kherathi sense you're rising. They will return stronger, hungrier, more intelligent. And when they do, the universe itself will tremble at the force of human ingenuity. The humans tighten their formation, aura and energy merging into a beacon of willpower and potential. This is only the beginning, the girl whispered. The Nexus is teaching us what it means to be human, and we will master it, no matter what the universe throws at us. The dragon's wings extended one last time, a protective, grounding force. The humans stepped forward, crossing deeper into the chaotic expanse of the Nexus. And in that moment, the universe itself seemed to pause, watching, waiting, and recognizing that a small, fragile species had begun to bend reality itself through courage, intelligence, and unyielding will. The Kherathi stirred somewhere beyond the folds of space, sensing change, sensing threat, and the humans, small and extraordinary, pressed onward, ready to prove to the cosmos that they were not prey. The nexus of possibilities stretched endlessly, a kaleidoscope of impossible geometries, fractured skies and rivers of liquid light. The humans advanced, led by the 12-year-old girl whose aura of sapphire fire cut through the chaos like a beacon of hope. Every step brought them closer to the heart of the Nexus, the place where the Kherathi awaited, the ancient predators whose hunger spanned galaxies. Time had lost meaning here. Space was malleable. Reality itself bent in response to thought. Yet the humans moved forward, anchored by courage, ingenuity, and unity. "This is it," the girl said softly, voice calm but filled with purpose. "The final trial. The Kherathi will test everything we are, our strength, our minds, our hearts, and we will prevail." The dragon landed beside her, wings partially unfurled, talons digging into the shifting ground. "You carry the potential of your species," it rumbled, "and I bear witness. Whatever happens, humanity will leave its mark on the cosmos." The humans formed a circle, hands glowing faintly with threads of energy, linking them together. "We are ready," the girl said. "Together, nothing is impossible." From the depths of the Nexus, the void shimmered. The Kherathi appeared, immense and incomprehensible, composed of writhing shadows, impossible geometries, and thought itself. Its presence alone pressed upon the humans' minds, probing, twisting, testing. "You are insignificant," it intoned, voice vibrating through every neuron, every thought. "Your courage is meaningless. Your unity is fragile. You cannot stand against the inevitable." The girl stepped forward, aura blazing brighter than ever. "We are human," she said, voice steady. "And human courage, intelligence, and unity are not meaningless. We survive. We adapt. We overcome. And we will never bow." The Kherathi laughed, a sound that twisted reality, cracking the floating islands and shattering rivers of light. Yet the humans did not falter. Kale projected energy waves, synchronized with Lyra's calculations, forming patterns that disrupted the Kherathi's attacks. Aaron manipulated the Nexus itself, bending fragments of space and energy to create shields and pathways. And the girl at the center wove her aura into a lattice of pure potential, connecting every human into a single, unified force. The Kherathi's attacks intensified. Tendrils of pure energy lashed at them, slicing through the air like rivers of fire. Illusions of despair, visions of death and failure, assailed their minds, attempting to break their unity. Yet the humans adapted, instinctively moving in harmony, combining intellect, creativity, and courage in ways that no algorithm, no alien intelligence, no god could anticipate. The girl raised her hands, channeling every shred of energy, thought, and experience into a spear of pure light. It pierced the Kherathi's form, and instead of destroying it, it merged with the entity, reshaping it. The impossible being froze, faces within faces twisting into expressions that almost resembled awe. "You are not like any species I have encountered," it said, thought resonating in every human's mind. "Yes," the girl replied, aura blazing. "We are human. We endure. We adapt. We rise. And we will continue to rise, no matter the odds." The Kherathi recoiled, a shudder rippling through the Nexus itself. The humans pressed forward, each step radiating unity, intelligence, and the indomitable will of their species. Time and space twisted violently around them, but humans thrived, turning the chaos into opportunity. Each obstacle, each trial, each illusion of despair became a stepping stone, a challenge to overcome through ingenuity and courage. The dragon roared, massive wings creating gusts that stabilized collapsing fragments of the Nexus, its fire scattering remnants of Kherathi energy that threatened to unweave reality. The girl extended her hand once more, and a wave of blue energy radiated outward, connecting every human, amplifying their abilities exponentially. The Kherathi faltered, its impossible form cracking under the pressure of coordinated human will. "You cannot comprehend your potential," it whispered, faltering. "Your species is anomalous." "Yes," the girl said, voice carrying like a clarion call. "We are human. Fragile, yes. Weak sometimes. But resilient, intelligent, and unyielding. And that is the greatest force in the universe." The humans advanced as one. Every movement precise, every action calculated yet instinctive. They reached the heart of the Nexus, a realm of pure potential, where thought and reality fused, and where even the Kherathi feared to tread. "Here!" The girl paused, closing her eyes, feeling the pulse of the universe, sensing the endless possibilities that stretched before them. "This is the moment," she whispered. "The culmination of everything we are, our strength, our courage, our uniqueness. The universe will remember humanity today." The Kherathi's final attack surged, a wave of raw chaos, predation meant to consume, erase, and dominate. But humans did not fight it with fear. They did not fight it with brute force alone. They fought it with intellect, with strategy, with creativity, and with an unbreakable will. Aaron manipulated the chaotic energy into structures of stability. Kale and Lyra synchronized every movement, every action, creating patterns of resistance that bent the laws of reality itself. The dragon roared, scattering the Kherathi's tendrils with precision and power. And the girl, glowing with the full extent of her human potential, extended her hands toward the Kherathi. "Look upon humanity," she said. "See what we are. And understand this. We do not submit. We do not yield. We rise and we endure." The energy of countless humans focused through her, forming a beacon that radiated outward, piercing the Kherathi's form, not with destruction, but with transformation. The Kherathi shuddered, faces within faces contorting into something approaching comprehension. The impossible entity collapsed, folding in on itself, dissolving into fragments of light and energy. And then silence. The Nexus stabilized, reality knitting itself back together, colors and shapes harmonizing into a coherent whole. The humans exhaled collectively, exhaustion and exhilaration mingling in equal measure. The dragon lowered its massive head, eyes glinting with pride. "You have done what no species has ever achieved," it rumbled. "You have faced the impossible, and you have transcended it. Humanity is extraordinary." The girl smiled faintly, her aura dimming to a soft, steady glow. "We are human," she said softly. "And today we have proven what that means. Not merely survival, but mastery, courage, intelligence, unity, and the ability to shape our destiny." Elitha's voice echoed from the portal that had brought them here, calm and reverent. "You have passed every trial, confronted ancient forces, and demonstrated potential beyond comprehension. Humanity is no longer a small, fragile species. You are a force the universe must reckon with." The humans glanced at one another, a mix of awe, pride, and quiet disbelief. They had faced death, chaos, and the incomprehensible. They had endured. They had adapted. And they had risen. The girl turned to the dragon, her eyes meeting its ancient gaze. "Thank you," she said, "for witnessing this, for protecting us, for understanding what it means to be human." The dragon inclined its massive head, wings folding slowly. "You have done more than survive. You have reshaped the universe's understanding of strength, courage, and intelligence, and I will carry witness of your deeds across the stars." The humans stepped toward the portal, back to Xylar Prime, back to the known universe, forever changed. The nexus of possibility began to collapse behind them, folding upon itself, a realm of endless potential now complete with humanity's imprint upon it. As they emerged, the sky of Xylar Prime stretched before them, crimson and gold in the light of the twin suns. The ruins of the battlefield glimmered with the remnants of energy, a testament to their victory. The surviving Gorthak, who had hidden in fear during the trials, watched in awe, understanding that they had witnessed something that would echo across their species forever. The girl raised her hand, aura flaring briefly, and a pulse of energy spread across the land, a silent declaration. Humans endure. Humans adapt. Humans rise. The dragon roared, echoing across the mountains, a sound of triumph, reverence, and approval. And somewhere in the far reaches of the cosmos, the Kherathi and other ancient beings stirred, aware that a new force had emerged in the galaxy, a species that could challenge the impossible, bend reality through unity and intelligence, and endure against any odds. Humans had proven that their fragility was a lie, their weakness an illusion. Their strength lay in their minds, their courage, and their unyielding will. And the 12-year-old girl, small in body but monumental in spirit, had become the symbol of humanity's unstoppable rise. She looked at the humans around her, exhausted, battered, but triumphant. "We are human," she whispered, "and this is only the beginning. We will face every challenge, every impossible force, and we will endure, because we are human, and we rise." The dragon landed beside her, talons sinking into the soil, wings folding with final, thunderous sound. "You have shown the universe what it means to be human," it said, "and I bear witness." The humans raised their heads, gaze steady, hearts unbroken, and for the first time in the history of the cosmos, the stars themselves seemed to shine brighter in recognition. A species small, fragile by design, had become unstoppable. A species defined by courage, intelligence, and unity had risen to its place among the stars. And the 12-year-old girl, radiant and unyielding, had led them there. The universe would never forget. The humans had endured the impossible, overcome the unimaginable, and risen beyond expectation. And in the end, the universe itself had witnessed the glory of humanity. For humans were never meant to be prey. Humans were meant to rise. Humans were meant to conquer, not through domination alone, but through courage, intellect, and the unbreakable power of unity. The girl smiled, her aura settling into a calm, steady light. The dragon roared one final time, the mountains trembling beneath its wings. And together, humans and dragon watched the horizon, knowing that this was only the first chapter in humanity's ascent among the stars. The universe was vast, dangerous, full of ancient powers, impossible threats, and unimaginable challenges. Yet humanity had proven it would face them all, and rise, and endure, forever.